Observing myself as a critical reader in English 201. I define reader response as the way that the reader experiences a piece of literature. Everyone's reader response is different based on their own personal experiences and thoughts. We were first asked to apply the reader response theory to Tim O'Brien's short story, The Things They Carried. The story was about soldiers in the Vietnam War and the things that they carried with them. Some items were for practical use as a soldier, but others really described who they were as a person and what their values were. Within the reader response, we were asked to reflect on what would be the one thing that we would carry. This made me think about my own experiences and values and what I would want that one item to say about me. I decided that if I had to choose, I would carry a photo album with pictures of my family, friends, and my home because these would be the things I would miss the most when I was away. This reader response really helped put into perspective what applying your own thoughts and experiences to a work of literature was like and extracting the deeper meaning. Observation of myself as a critical reader. Coming into this course, I wasn't the best critical reader, and I thought that I would struggle. As we started the discussions about the short stories, my classmates were picking up on things that I had just completely overlooked, and I wasn't getting much meaning out of the stories. It came time for me to lead the class discussion on a short story called Hills Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway. The story was extremely short and almost all dialogue, and at first I had a really hard time trying to interpret it. I referred back to my senior year English class, which was entirely based on developing skills that we would need in college courses. The final project for that class was to create a manual of everything we had learned in the year, and my teacher begged us to bring it to college with us and use it as a resource. I haven't touched the book since I've been here, but I figured that if there was any time to use it, it would be now. Sure enough, there was a section titled Read for Efficiency and Effectiveness. I skimmed through and applied some of the tactics to Hills Like White Elephants. After rereading the story multiple times, highlighting, annotating, and asking questions about the text, I was able to actually understand it and pick up on all the things I had missed. The story ended up being about a couple that were going through relationship issues and had to make the decision of whether or not to have an abortion, and I definitely did not pick up on that with the first read. For me, the highlighting and asking questions that I later had to go back and answer were the most helpful strategies. When I highlighted what I thought was important parts or literary devices, I was able to go back and interpret what they meant. When I asked questions, I was able to understand the meaning of different things. For example, I asked, what are they going to do that is going to drastically change their relationship? And it helped me to go back and find that I had completely missed the line about the girl having an operation, which would be the abortion. My favorite digital tool that we used this semester was the online reading blog. We were asked to use the website Blogger to post different things about our free read novel. I chose to read The Book Thief by Mark Zusak. The reading blog gave me a place to share my thoughts about what I was reading in an informal manner, where I didn't have to scrutinize the book for certain details or quotes or things of that nature. I could just share what I got out of it and what I thought about it without having my analysis be right or wrong. I think that it was a nice format to apply reader response and also work on critical analysis skills without strict structure. The critical analysis skills that I was able to practice throughout English 201 helped me in my exercise science class this semester. In the class, we were asked to summarize scientific research articles. These articles, upon first glance, were very dense and difficult to understand. Applying the skills that I use for critical reading helped me to break down the articles into simpler terms and points that I could understand. I highlighted the key points of the article and wrote questions in the margins along with notes where I reworded the points in language I could understand. One of the biggest challenges for me was reading and analyzing F. Scott Fitzgerald's Winter Dreams. Although I understand the importance of reading different types of literature, I really struggle with reading things that I don't choose for myself. This short story in particular was longer than others, so I was not able to pay as close attention. On the first read, I basically had no idea what was going on, and the second read didn't help much because I was so disengaged. I tried to highlight things that were important, but I wasn't able to interpret what they meant because I wasn't taking the time to understand what I was reading. I just wanted to get to the end. A memorable moment that I had with literature was when I was reading Amy Tan's short story, Two Kinds. The story depicts a relationship between a mother and daughter, where the mother wants her daughter to play the piano and be a prodigy, while the daughter wants nothing to do with it and has a different plan for herself. This story produced a memorable moment for me because it is the first time I read something that I could actually relate to my own life. Growing up, I played the violin and I was pretty good, but I really liked swimming. My dad really wanted me to keep pursuing music, but I chose to keep swimming instead because I didn't enjoy playing the violin as much as I once had. He was upset at first, but still very supportive, and today he is happy with the decision I made. Although my situation wasn't nearly as severe as the girl in the story, I was still able to relate to it, and it allowed me to have empathy for a character which I had not experienced before. My aha moment was finally getting to apply and understand what I learned in high school. As I previously stated, critical reading and analysis was a major focus of my senior year English class, but I was never very good at it. This semester, I was finally able to work on these skills, and now I can understand and pick out different aspects of literature on my own that I wasn't able to before, like when I read Hills Like White Elephants.